All right, so today we have Carlos's Evo 10MR. We've tuned several years ago, and now it's just in for kind of like a refresh, so to speak. Just run it on the dyno on the current tune, see if there's any improvements that could be made. And then we also have revised quite a few things to the SST. This is a Cosmic trans, which these trans tend to not accept the mods we do, but we're gonna try it anyway and see if it works. Little things like driving into auto and not only having to drive it in Super Sport is a big one, which that's the whole appeal of these cars, is they're a dual clutch. So figuring out ways to make sure they retain that OEM feel is the dream, but it seems like with these upgraded clutches, they don't seem to accept a lot of the tuning strategies we have. The Jack's transmission seems to accept it, but like I said, the Cosmic ones tend to be a little bit more stubborn, but we could still make it work. So I've got it on the dyno now, got it all strapped, gonna calibrate the dyno, make sure everything's good. I'm also trying out my new mic, so hopefully everything's great, sounds great there. But yeah, let me get the boost reference set up, and then we will start yarding it on the dyno. All right, we're getting the car warmed up as we speak right now. Dyno's all calibrated. It is feeling toasty as balls in here, so we're gonna turn the AC on. We're gonna do the baseline pulls, see if there's anything that can be improved or should be improved, and then we will switch over to the SST side and see if we can make it any better. No promises there. I feel like we tried pretty hard on this car to get everything to work the way it should, and it just seemed like this one didn't want to work. So, but we're gonna try. We're gonna give it our best ditch effort, and then if we can make more power, I don't think we will, because it looks like we're already maxing out the map sensor before. Pardon my face. So I think we're kind of at a loss there, but sure as hell gonna give it a shot. So end of the day, customer was already happy with the power made before, but like I said, we'll always give it a ditch effort to see if we can maybe make any more, find some efficiencies somewhere. It still is a stock motor with a built head that we did quite a few years ago, so I think he's been on this setup for like almost 3 or 4 years, basically, or even longer than that, because he showed up kind of when I first got the job here. So but yeah, we will go from here. I'm gonna pull the map off here real quick, because I don't have the latest copy, and then we also verify if the map's been tampered with, because that changes it from a retune to a full tune regardless. Obviously, if you're letting people get into your map and you're messing with them after we tune them, we now look at it as a whole new tune, regardless if they made 1 change or 2 changes. Just obviously, we want to be the ones to adjust our maps. And especially with our previous history of people stealing our maps, we are pretty strict about that. So, and I leave little booby traps in there to see if anything's changed, or I just compare the map to what our last one was. So, either way, I'm gonna do that now, and then we'll get a video of it ripping for the baseline pull, and we'll go from there. give it another rip here. Looks like the rev limit was too low. Don't know how that happened, but we're gonna poke at it here. Some things are definitely a little different than they were before, so I'm wondering if maybe it was turned down or something along those lines. But we're gonna give it another rip here and see what it makes. So here we go. So far we're doing pretty good. 519, I mean, I can make the power I did before, but there's no point. We're making a healthy number and air fuel's right where we want it to be, so he should be happy with that. So the health check on that went good. Now we're just gonna kind of deal with some like idle surging that it's doing right now. I don't really care for this right now. And there's a couple of things that is being done in the tune right now that I'm going to fix. So it's idling at negative timing, which is not good for EGTs. So I'm going to fix that. And then beyond that, though, everything else seemed pretty good. So you can hear that surging happening right now, but that's probably because the AC is on. Turn off the AC, it seems like it still gets a little dramatic. So I'm going to deal with this right now. Biggest thing you do with these is you got to be careful with is when you put them in drive, they bog down the engine. So that's might be why it's so dramatic right now, but we can obviously make that better. I like to ramp in the timing down low, that way it's all good there. So just a couple little things we can clean up. Good morning, everyone. We are back. It is the next day. I didn't get a chance to finish it yesterday because I had a little bit of a family emergency that I had to go deal with. It is freezing cold out here right now. It is 32 degrees right now, and the car's finally warmed up, so I got the heat on. But I am just fine-tuning some idle things that I don't care for, and then fixing some fueling from the last time it was tuned. It just looks like the idle and cruise were a little off, so we're just fixing that, and then making sure all of the auto features and making sure it can shift in normal and sport at high power. Like I said, that's kind of the issue. It seems like part throttle and full throttle we have seen where sometimes it just don't want to shift at the higher load and higher power. So I'm fixing that now. Seemingly it's working, and then we'll go from there. And then after I'm done with this on the dyno, then we're gonna go take it on the street and just make sure it's doing what it should. So it should be relatively uneventful, nothing crazy happening on the dyno, and then we'll take it on the street. Car on the dyno, or off the dyno, and then drove it on the street. The term less is more really applies to the SST transmission, just because you crank the clutch torque request, or the torque request for the clutch pressure tables does not mean it's just going to work, unfortunately. So that's what was done here, and it kind of screws up with like the normal and the sport drive modes. So we put our tables in it that we've been developing over the last couple of months, and it seems to have allowed this thing to drive spark cut essentially on the car where it's on the main ignition map. It helps with the roll races and whatnot, and it adds its own level of a problem that we run into when we're driving the car. Kind of screws with the drivability, obviously, when you're taking out that much timing on the main timing map. But other than that, car's good, drives good. I'm happy with it. I'm sure the customer will be. Not to say that there isn't going to be any revisions I have to do remotely, but I think he should be pretty good. Car's still making the same power it was several years ago, so that's always a good sign. Compression, leak down, all of that looked good. So Carlos, you got your car back, everything's good, and you got a couple extra features there. So yeah, I am on to the next car. Maybe I'll vlog it, maybe I won't. If that's the end of the video, have a great day. All right, today's car on the dyno is Carl Drews. He's a good customer of ours. We built the car several years ago. Now it's in for just an overall health checkup. It's a Garret 30 or 25 6 Garret G30-770 is what we have on the car. The full flex fuel kit on a Cobb access port. Pretty nice build. I'll get you videos of the engine bay, but today we're just doing an overall health inspection on the car, and then he wants a kill map, so we're gonna turn it up if there's anything left in it, and then go from there. But we'll get a couple dyno pulls, show you what we're doing. We're also fixing a little idle thing that it has. So car's been together for, I want to say, about a year and a half now, and yeah, it's a fun little street ripper. 650 wheel, pretty good. But let's go ahead and get it on the dyno, or calibrate the dyno, and go from there. All right. So, G30-770 AMS intake manifold, 5-bar map sensor, radium fuel rails with red horse fittings, inline everywhere. Cobb AOS. Yeah, I mean, pretty typical 600 plus horsepower Subaru build, IAG 750. Long block, and we did our own O-ring head gasket combo on here, so it should be pretty ready for power. Obviously we are turbo limited. I'm curious if we'll even be able to get anything out of it today, anything more anyways. But yeah, let me hook up the boost reference and then get everything situated from there. Got our first baseline done. 588 wheel and 519 wheel torque. Car is made over 650 wheel. We have it turned it down. This is his everyday map, not his pay to play. Looks good to me, so we're gonna go to his pay to play map, which has a few more degrees of timing, and then we're also gonna go ahead and give it a little bit more boost because that's what he wants to try. So we're gonna go to like 33 pounds, 34 pounds, see what it does. If it does something cool, great. The weather's not great today, so I have a feeling it's not going to make the best power per pound. So we'll see, but we're going to give it our best shot. All right, well, seemingly I can't get any more boost out of it on the top. It's starting to taper down to like 29 pounds. So I'm gonna do the old-fashioned way, the undesirable way. We're gonna just start giving it a little bit more timing down low, and just see if we can get anything else out of it. I mean, this kit's been on here for years, so maybe there's a chance too the turbo's not performing as well as it used to. I'm still leaning towards the weather. Just being a little warmer today. It's dropped. I got it up to 627 wheels, so almost 630. So we're only about, well, we're about 14 wheel off. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, obviously the customer just wanted to try a little harder down low. So I think I gave that to him. I'm gonna go ahead and get a hold of him, see if he wants to just leave it where it's at or try harder. I don't like trying this hard on a car, even if it is a built motor. Obviously IG makes a great product, but at the end of the day, if you're just hard on the motor, you're hard on the motor. Luckily, this is one of those customers I trust to where he isn't gonna go flog it. So he's probably the only one I would trust to actually have a map like this and then not break his car. But yeah, I mean, it's a good looking dynograph. It's a very fun street dynograph. So I think I'll try one more, get a video of it, get it off the dyno, and then let the customer, you know, just enjoy it. If they want to try harder, I'll blow the head gaskets right out of it if I need to, but I don't feel like I want to. So either way, I'm going to keep going. We are doing 100% wastegate duty because we are low on the gate. So this is going to be the send it pass. Hopefully it'll carry the boost out the top, but we'll see. Seems like it's not making the same power as it was before, which, like I said, the weather is a big factor in that. So let's see what we're going to make. I'll get a video here and hope for the best. Carl's is all done. Ended up going to 22 pound or 32 pounds, and just tapering it down. He seems good there. He told me, on my opinion, where I'd want to leave it, and I wanted to leave it at 30 pounds, but I said, if you want to have a little fun, we'll throw a couple more pounds at it, and like another degree of timing down low. I would say this combo, we're kind of done. We're tapped out. It seems like we can't make the boost out the top, so which I would prefer that when we're trying to go for bigger power. And, you know, with the Subaru, it just makes so much freaking torque. It's just not easy on the rods over time. So I think you know, a comparable 6466 style turbo, like a Garret G30-770 would be awesome. That would be the route I would go. And then obviously all the idle issues he had before, I had fixed that. He also wanted me to fix the pops and bangs that it occasionally will have, but that just kind of, you know, it's a full ETS turbo kit straight through, and it has, you know, just a bunch of mods, aftermarket fuel system. Occasionally you'll get in a pop here and there. I can't completely get rid of that as much as I've tried. So, but he should be happy. End of the day, we got what we needed. So I'm gonna get it off the dyno, call Carl, tell him he's ready to go, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, if you're new, like, subscribe, email us if you have any questions about your car. sales@englishracing.net. I run the shop, so I'll be able to help. And then I also tune, a little bit of jack of all trades here. So obviously we also have Lucas here who will tune as well, Miles, Senior Gringo Integra, and we just make shit go fast at the end of the day. But other than that, if you're new, like, subscribe, like I said, and you have a great day. Pretty good deal. Jake's car did really well. I don't think we need to try any harder. He daily drives it. 330 wheel, very clean 14 EVO 10. I'm gonna go chat with Miles, see if this is where we're happy with, and then go from there. But I think we're about done. So Yeah, I'll go talk to him, come back, decide what we're going to do, and then if I want to give it a little more, we'll go from there.